Okay, shall we have a look at some of these amazing results? Okay, this is a very fast submission. The Iris group. Okay. Description of dream data set. Okay, that's not what I was actually looking for. I was looking for, like, if you could have any data in the world, what would it be? Like, what would the actual data be? That's the question. Yeah. A good example would be something like, I wish I had a data set containing the list of every football team that wins the World Cup for the next 100 years. That would be like a dream data set, right? And if you had that data set, you could be a millionaire or a billionaire, right? That's just one example. I mean, just off the top of my head. Okay, so let's see. Okay, this is, I wouldn't call this a dream data set. I know this data set. If I think I know what that data set is. Yeah, I think I've seen this. Yes, I've seen this data set. This is what I would call the world's most boring data set and the world's most uninteresting data set, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna guess you Googled this chart. You didn't create it yourself. I'm gonna guess that you just Googled it and then copied and pasted the image. Is that correct? The Iris team? And I'm going to guess you did the same thing for this one, that you didn't actually create this yourselves. You Googled it and copied and pasted it. So this is a good example, by the way, this is a good example of somebody like myself, an academic, that can spot plagiarism very, very easily and very, very quickly. So if you're wondering how academics spot plagiarism, this is a good example. It only took me a few seconds. I just know right away it's plagiarized. So if you're ever wondering, like, how do academics do this, this is a perfect example of plagiarism being spotted immediately, like in a few seconds, very easily. So we're good at that. So if you create, if you use some external sources without citing them, then we'll call it plagiarism. Okay. Now this does anybody know how this exercise could have been better? So this exercise could have been better if you had cited where you got your images from. Then you could avoid plagiarism. Yeah. Okay. Any other entries? hopefully this one is not plagiarized. Backbenchers with academic backs. That's a funny name. Where did you guys get that name from? Did you try an acronym like BBWAB, something like that? Okay. URL of data source stream, list of all the cars. Okay, that's an interesting data set. List of all the cars in the world. Car price. Okay. That's a lot of cars. So that's an interesting data set. That's interesting. Okay, columns, brand, model. Okay, this looks interesting. This is an interesting one. Okay, basic bar chart. So Ford counts of brand. Okay. So is that really true? Are there 1,000 different Ford vehicles? Is that really true? Can anybody verify that? I mean, that is a lot of cars. It just seems like too many. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so the higher the price, the lower the higher the mileage. Or the lower the higher. So price, the higher the price, the lower the mileage. Okay. Please do see the collab document using the link. Okay. It's not letting me open it. That's strange. This is what I'm supposed to look at? Okay. I see. Distribution of year. Okay. There's some sort of spike in 2024. Okay. Distribution of engine size. Okay. Wow, you guys created a lot of plots. Box plot of price. Okay, that's interesting. Counts of brand, counts of model, counts of fuel type. Okay, this is a good one. This is a good one. This team took the exercise very seriously. So the backbenchers with academic backs. Well done. Where are these guys? BBWAB. Where are you actually? Okay, nice job. The only thing I mean, it would be nice to see more colors, that's all, right? You have lots of, but it's a short time. Good. Interesting data set, some interesting findings. It would be also interesting to know, like, is this really true? Like, did Ford really make 1,000 different kinds of cars? Is that really true? Like, that is shocking if that's true. Okay, good. Oh, I just looked at that one. Okay, anybody need to find out about tutorials? Any group name for this one? No group name? Okay, so you looked at the nutritional and the food data set. Okay, what is this? So does anybody know what this is? So anybody know what the x-axis is or what the y-axis is? Anybody know? So in coursework number 2, you need to have labels for your x-axis and your y-axis. Otherwise, you'll get minus points. And your chart has to have a name, like X versus Y or something. Okay, anybody know? I mean, it looks kind of cool, but does anybody know what it's showing? Okay, again, in this one, you'd have to be able to tell us what. So there's a mapping around to angle, right? You'd have to tell us what the angle represents or is mapped to, and then you'd have to tell us like what's going on here. This looks almost like random to me. It looks kind of random. I can't tell what's going on there. So in this one, you need to label your x-axis and your y-axis and give it a title. If I can't understand it, it won't get any points for coursework 2, just so you know. 0. It will get 0 points if I can't understand it. Okay. Any other submissions? Anybody want to submit anything? Okay, so what was the team that did it? Not that one. This one. So for this team, backbenchers with academic backs, that's a really funny name. That you have eight people in your group. So for these 8 people, if you want, this is completely voluntary, I have a free laptop carrying bag that you can have for each group member. So it's like it's similar to this, but it's bigger. So I have a free one of these for each one of you, if you want one. They're in my office. You don't have to. It's bigger than that. It's for like a 15-inch laptop. Okay, any questions? Anybody else want to submit anything? So clearly this is a difficult exercise. It's kind of good. It sort of represents a little bit of what you're going to be facing for coursework number 2. Okay, if there are no other questions, concerns, or submissions, we can finish. Yeah? So have a good weekend.